Hi there, this is Catherine. So I just got back from the Dollarama again, and I've been having a lot of fun making some Easter crafts. So I thought this time I would decorate some Easter eggs. So I'm just going to do like a whole bunch of different designs. Some are going to be very colorful, some are going to have more of like a farmhouse feel. And I'm just going to create a whole bunch of different designs, like maybe 5 or 6 different designs, and then afterwards I'm going to use them as decoration around like in my living room. So I'll just show you what I picked up. So I was just at the Dollarama, and they have these. I wasn't sure what they had for eggs when I went there. I knew I didn't want the plastic ones just because I didn't think that like the shiny plastic ones, because I didn't think that the glue would stick very well to it. So I saw these, and these are they are plastic, but they're dyeable. So I thought that was really cool, and they have kind of like they look like eggshell. They're matte, so I have a feeling they're probably going to be really easy to work with. So I picked up 2 of these. I might go back later for another one, depending on. So these were $2 each. And so I just went around the store and I got ideas. So I picked up some Easter yarn for $1.50, and you can see that they show it with around eggs. So I'm going to try wrapping that around the eggs. And I also got some like shabby chic ribbon. So I thought these would make a nice assortment. So these were $1.25 each, and they have the wire along the edge, so I'm probably just going to cut the edge off. So it may have like I'm not sure if it'll fray yet, so I'm just going to wait and see how it works out. And I got 2 different kinds of burlap. So this is the rough burlap, and that was $1.25. And here is some decorative burlap, and this is a large roll for around $3. And I also got some jute twine. I'm concerned it may be a bit too chunky, but this was the thinnest I could find. So this was $1.25. I found it in the hardware section with the tools. And I also picked up some lace, and this was $1.50. And I picked up some pearl sheets. I'm not sure, I've never worked with these before, so I'm not sure how they're going to cut. And these were $3. And the last thing I got was some glitter paint. So this was $3. So I wanted to make some glitter eggs, but I thought this might be a little bit tidier, so I'll just paint on maybe 3 or 4 layers, maybe do some stripes or some solid colors. So in total it came to $25, and that's with the tax. So I think I'm going to end up with quite a few eggs, and I'm excited to see how they turn out. So the first project I'm going to start with is the glitter eggs. So once I assembled the little cardboard holders, I just got my glitter paint ready, and so I just decided to put down a piece of paper just to protect my work surface, and then I started to apply the first coat of the paint, and then I let that dry. So to wrap the eggs with the yarn, you just start with some craft glue and you apply some to the top, and then you take the tail end of the yarn and you just start wrapping. So you might find that your fingers get sticky as the glue dries. So I recommend as soon as that starts, just to go like put the egg down and go wash your hands, and then you can continue easily. And so you just keep wrapping the yarn around until you reach the end, and then you just tie off the string. And you can also combine the different colors or do stripes. And so I'm just demonstrating with a solid egg right here. So now this is a third egg, and I'm using pearl sheets. So these are easy to work with. So you just kind of cut a square that will fit around the circumference of the egg, and uh, so then afterwards you just hot glue it into place. Just put a band around the width, and then using your scissors, you cut little slits along the top and the bottom, and then you can start using the hot glue to mold the pearl strips into shape. So how you do that is you just take one strip at a time and you fold that down, and then you're going to need to use your scissors to cut away the pearls that overlap. So it does require some patience, and I recommend that you keep the strips kind of thick. It just makes it easier to work with. So here I'm showing you how to create the lace eggs. So these are really easy to do. I was using thicker lace, so I found it helpful to cut it into half. So I just went up the strip of the lace and just cut it into half. And then I just covered the entire egg with white glue. And then I just started by putting the lace around the circumference of the egg, and then I would just turn it 90 degrees to put another layer on top of that. And then afterwards, I would just fill in these spaces with the extra lace. And I would I would put some extra glue on and just use my hands to mold the lace to the egg. Because the lace is so flexible, this was really easy to do, and I did use a lot of the craft glue, and this was a pretty fairly easy egg to do. So to create the jute egg, this egg was the easiest egg to decorate. You just place a bit of hot glue on top and you just attach the jute string, and then you keep putting a little bit of hot glue around and then twisting the jute. And it's really easy to do, and you just keep going to the very end. So now we're going to do the sixth egg, which is with the ribbon. So this one is almost exactly like creating the lace eggs. So in the video here, I'm showing you cutting it down the middle, but I would actually recommend not trimming the edges and instead just cutting the strips into thirds so that they're more narrow. And then you do the same as the lace. You just apply the glue all the way around the egg, and then you use the ribbon to um, cover the egg, and then you turn it 90 degrees, and then you put another piece of ribbon, and then afterwards you just turn it again and apply another ribbon, and you add more glue where it overlaps, and then you just use your scissors to trim away any bulk at the bottom. So this is, here I'm using the decorative burlap. So what I did is I just cut a rectangle that would go around the circumference of the egg, and then I just hot glued it into place. And then I cut the burlap into strips along the top and the bottom. And then I added the hot glue. I chose to use the hot glue instead of the craft glue just because the burlap was so rigid. The craft glue was just too liquid. So it is a little bit trickier to work with. So you need to put the hot glue down, and then you use your fingers to mold the burlap to the egg, and then you just take your scissors and you trim away any of the bulk. So here is the eighth egg design. So this was the burlap, and at first I was worried it would be hard to work with, but it actually ended up being one of the easiest eggs to design. So you start off by just cutting out a rectangle that will go around the circumference of the egg, and then you hot glue the egg onto the burlap, and then afterwards, instead of cutting it into strips, you add some hot glue and you mold the burlap. Because it has such a loose weave, it's really easy to stretch. So you just sort of like pull and mold the burlap and then hot glue it into place, and I would kind of like pull it on a diagonal so that it would get the rounded shape of the egg. So here you can see I finished up all the eggs. Here are the decorative burlap eggs. Here is the regular burlap egg, which I really like. Here are the lace eggs, which have an interesting look to them. The glitter eggs, the jute eggs. These are my favorite. These are the quickest and easiest to make, and I think that they have a lot of potential for projects. Here are the pearl eggs. Here's the shabby chic ribbon eggs. And here are the yarn eggs, which are also really fun to make, but just tricky. You have to just be really patient. And I can't wait to use these in my next craft project. So make sure to subscribe so you can be notified of my next Easter craft video, and like the video and leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.